trespassing can be a death sentence. The American frontier was a land of opportunity and danger, where settlers had to fend for themselves. This environment fostered a culture of self-reliance and defense of property, often through violent means. The myth of the rugged individualist, exemplified by figures like Davy Crockett, contributed to a narrative that valued strength and bravery over diplomacy and cooperation. As a result, the idea of defending one's land at all costs became deeply ingrained in American culture, laying the groundwork for a society that would later condone lethal force against trespassers. The castle doctrine and stand your ground laws have played a significant role in solidifying the notion that property owners have the right to defend their land, even if it means using lethal force. These laws, which vary by state, essentially allow individuals to use force, including deadly force, to protect themselves and their property from perceived threats. A notable example is the 2012 case of Trayvon Martin, where the defendant, George Zimmerman, claimed self-defense under Florida's Stand Your Ground law. Although the law was not ultimately used as a defense, the case highlights the complexities and controversies surrounding these laws. The castle doctrine and stand your ground laws have been used to justify violent acts, often with devastating consequences. By examining these laws and their applications, it becomes clear that the notion of defending one's property at all costs is deeply ingrained in American culture, contributing to a deadly allure of property rights. The consequences of these laws are far-reaching, and their implications must be carefully considered to understand the complexities of property rights and violence in America. The idea of the self-made man is deeply ingrained in American mythology, and it's closely tied to the concept of property ownership. This mythological narrative suggests that individuals can achieve success and prosperity through hard work and determination, and that their property is a direct result of their efforts. As a result, many Americans view their property as an extension of themselves and their personal freedom. The notion that someone could simply trespass on their land is seen as a threat to their very way of life. This mindset is rooted in the stories of pioneers and settlers who worked tirelessly to build their homes and communities from scratch. The idea of defending one's property at all costs is a natural extension of this narrative, and it's what drives some Americans to view trespassing as a crime punishable by death. The cultural significance of property ownership in America has created a sense of entitlement and defensiveness among some property owners, leading to a zero-tolerance approach to trespassing. This approach is often justified through the lens of self-defense and the protection of one's property, rather than being seen as a violation of another person's rights. In conclusion, the notion that trespassing can be a death sentence is deeply rooted in America's historical context, laws, and cultural narratives. The frontier mentality, castle doctrine, and stand your ground laws have all contributed to a culture that strongly defends property rights, often through violent means. The mythological underpinnings of vigilantism, including the idea of the self-made man and the importance of property ownership, have also played a significant role. It's essential to recognize that these narratives are not absolute truths, but rather complex and multifaceted stories that have been shaped by historical events and cultural influences. As we move forward, it's crucial that we critically examine these narratives and their impact on our society. We must consider the consequences of perpetuating a culture that prioritizes property rights over human life and well-being. By doing so, we can work towards creating a more just and equitable society where the value of human life is never compromised for the sake of property ownership.